Hello and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we are talking about the top 10 scary sixth sense stories. Ooh. So our 5 agreed senses are taste, touch, smell, sight and hearing, but some people believe that humans have a weird intuition, an ability to see or sense something that others can't. They just can't put their finger on what that might be. We call it a sixth sense. Before we get into this video, I want to ask you guys if you believe you have any special powers. Do you believe in a sixth sense? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, please do stick around to the end of the video where I'll be reading out some of your comments from a previous video. Also, while you're down there, why don't you like this video and share it with a friend? Also, why not check out our Instagram at MostAmazingOfficial. Alright, let's do this. Coming in at number 10, we have the TUCSON tension. This story comes from Reddit, as many good stories do. The Redditor Jonah was talking about a drive they were doing from Tucson, Arizona to Trinity in California. Now, if anyone is familiar with this route, then they'll know that it's mainly desert, and at times it's pretty deserted. They said that they were driving on a back road when they noticed that the car was running very low on fuel. They were about to pull into a gas station, but a strange sixth sense told them that something wasn't right. They pulled their car over just ahead of the gas station so they could reconcile with their feelings for a minute. They found that there was a gas station 20 miles on and decided to risk driving that far on near empty based on the feeling they were having. As they drove ahead and looked back at the gas station that filled them with such a weird fear, they noticed that there were 10 to 15 people who hadn't been there now standing outside. They'd driven a little way down the road, but it looked as if some of these people were heavily armed too. Now, of course, they called the police. They said they never ever looked back after that. Who knows what would have happened if they'd driven into that gas station seriously. Coming into number 9, we have the Night's Watchman. Aren't dogs great? There really is no other answer than yes here. This dog, however, had a strange nighttime ritual that made his owners think that he may have a sixth sense. It seems that the fluffster took the witching hour very seriously. Every night at 3 AM he would get up and routinely inspect all of the rooms in the house. 3 AM on the dot. For this reason, his owners would leave all of the doors open, if not he would get restless and bark. After going from room to room, he would sleep in front of the bedroom door. If ever he was caught in the act of his routine inspection, he would look at a person, then seemingly at the empty doorway and back again. It's almost like he could see something that us humans simply couldn't. What sixth sense wakes him up like clockwork? His owners don't know. What he's looking for? Well, maybe it's a good thing that dogs can't talk, because we might not want to know the answer. Coming into number 8, we have the policeman's power. Some people find themselves drawn to law enforcement as they seemingly have a sixth sense as to how to spot bad people. This story comes from Officer Brandon Smithley, a military veteran turned law enforcement officer. He describes how a gut feeling led him to stop a bad man. He said he was sitting roadside in St. Louis performing traffic spot checks when a pedestrian caught his eye. He was carrying a backpack and the officer said he had a very bad vibe. He decided to step out of the patrol vehicle and stop the guy. When he stopped him, he was met with the usual "who, me?" response. The officer said that he felt a deep sinking feeling that something was very wrong. Officer Smithley said that with every question, the guy would clutch his backpack even tighter. The officer asked to look in the bag. What he saw shocked him. It seems the man was carrying a hammer, a screwdriver, 2 knives, 4 lengths of rope, rubber bands, 2 Molotov cocktails and a lighter. It seems that the man was actually on his way to murder his pregnant ex-girlfriend and then set fire to her home. The officer in question has said since he has always trusted his gut. Coming into number 7, we have a wife's wisdom. This is the story of a woman in Utah who saved her husband's life with a strange sense of matrimonial intuition. Nicole Matthew was at work when she had a strange feeling that she needed to rush back home. Meanwhile, her husband Scott had been working on his truck when the jack slipped and fell, trapping him and slowly crushing him under a vehicle. Stuck for half an hour and knowing he would die if help didn't come soon, he willed his wife to come home. Perhaps the pair have a psychic connection. Perhaps Nicole has a sixth sense. Whatever she felt, he was in trouble. She rushed to him, found him in the garage and found him pinned underneath his car, barely able to breathe. She called 911, he had suffered 6 broken ribs, but thankfully as his wife found him in time, Scott, a father of 5, lived to tell the tale. Not so much a scary story up next, but a truly awesome fact about humans, and maybe confirmation that we do have a sixth sense at number 6. We can hear water temperature. Have a listen to this excerpt from Tom Scott's video and see how well your sixth sense is working. Which of these paws do you think is hot or cold? Alright, did you get that? So the first one was cold and the second one was hot. Now humans are supposed to be able to hear this. Listen again and see if you can hear it if you didn't pick up it on the first time. The human brain is in tune to more than we think, which actually makes this list even scarier because maybe these sixth senses are real. Coming into number 5, we have the twin bond. It is often discussed how twins have a sixth sense, and there are countless spooky tales out there. Today I am sharing the story of Leanne and Gemma Houghton. At the time of the incident, the girls were 15 and living in Manchester, England. Gemma said that she simply had a feeling that her sister needed help. Her sister was in the bathroom, and usually, as teenage girls, they respected one another's privacy, but the feeling was so strong that she bounded in anyway. She said at first that she thought her sister was playing a trick on her in the bath, but then she realized she was drowning. Luckily, she knew CPR, so she rescued her from the water and was able to block her airways. The emergency services said that if Gemma hadn't had her sixth sense feeling, her sister would have died. Meet the real-life Cole Sear at number 4. Cole Sear was the kid character in The Sixth Sense who famously saw dead people. Well, this kid is called Elijah and he has terrifying psychic powers. Elijah correctly predicted his mother's miscarriage. He touched her pregnant belly and said, "Mummy, your baby is going to go with God." Terrifying. Sadly, she did miscarry a couple of days later. He also accurately predicted that later she would have twin boys, which she did. When his mother Heather took him to see a psychic expert, the expert confirmed that the 4-year-old boy speaks to dead people and higher powers. Similarly, at number 3, we have the dead animal whisperer. 28-year-old Laura Kemp has had the ability to speak to dead people and animals since she was 3 years old. She said the first ghost she met was her Uncle John when she was a toddler, and that she is often visited by her dead Nana, who shares her loving memories with her. She says that she can even remember her parents' wedding, which happened long before she was born. The mother from Greater Manchester says that she has met dozens of ghosts, but more often she meets the spirit of dead animals. She even claims to have met a dead bear. What the bear was doing in Manchester, we may never know. She also says that her sixth sense gives her the ability to sense people's emotions before she even sees them. Now it seems that the gift does run in the family and that her daughter is also able to see spirits. Coming into number 2, this is a very sad story. We have the pilot's plight. American Airlines Flight 191 is the worst airline crash in US history. It killed all 271 people on board and 2 people on the ground. Shortly after the takeoff from Chicago's O'Hare Airport, the plane's left engine separated, causing the plane to leak hydraulic fluid and crash. Now it seems that the plane's captain David Booth had regular dreams about the plane flipping off the runway and bursting into flames for 10 days before the incident. He told officials, but they wrote off his sixth sense as a series of bad dreams. Finally, coming into number 1, this is so spooky, we have Sharon Tate's premonition. The Charles Manson murders were truly disturbing, and they deeply troubled Americans in the 1960s when the news broke. Manson's cult famously killed actress Sharon Tate and her ex-boyfriend and continued friend Jay Sebring. They also killed her unborn baby and 2 of her friends. Now, 2 years prior to the incident, when Tate was still with her ex, she dreamed about the pair being murdered by being cut open. It was horrifying. She even spoke in an interview with a magazine about it. 2 years later, she was married to someone else and 2 weeks away from birthing her child when she was hanging out with her friends, including her ex. In eerily similar circumstances to her dream, she and Sebring were indeed savagely killed. Now it sounds like Tate had a scary sixth sense, but it didn't save her. Okay, so that was that. Which of these stories did you find the scariest? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to let me know what you think to sixth senses, whether you think you have one. Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, while you're down there, why don't you like this video? Before I go, I just want to read some comments from one of my most recent videos, a part 2 to the female convicts who freaked out after being given a life sentence. Courtney Pye said, "It's not called jail when it's that long term, girl. It's prison." Awesome World of Music wrote, what do you expect to get if you take someone's life? Honestly, I agree with you. Mandy and family loved my dress. She said she wanted to see a top 10 Rebecca Felgate outfits, which I'm sure they'll never go for on the channel, but you can check out my Instagram. It's basically the whole stream of my outfits. Thank you. Loads of you mentioned my blazer dress and you asked where it's from. It's from a shop in Toronto called The Store on Queen, and they have an online shop too, so thank you. Okay guys, end of the video. So leave me a comment. Once again, do leave me a thumbs up, share this video, share some positivity. These stories have been scary. I want some happiness. I'm your host, Rebecca Felgate, and I'll see you soon. Bye.